Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel 7 Heaven. I'm Caress. Y'all know I'm so grateful that you're here. We're back for another one, and whew, y'all know the energy gets to me sometimes because spirit be coming through strong. But I had felt called to do this. I was wondering, why am I called to do an old case? And lo and behold, JonBenét Ramsey died on Christmas Day. I felt called to do this first on Christmas. And now it's just, I think she was found on the 26th. I'm filming this right after that. So it's the anniversary. That's probably why her death's coming through. And I've noticed in my own mediumship, a lot of it is based on dates. I'll get a strong urge to know everything about a person, and lo and behold, it'll be the day that they died or some other significant date in their life that I didn't even know about. So her energy called me to this. And obviously, this is a famous case, y'all. People have blamed her parents. People have blamed the neighborhood freakos. And is it an intruder? Was it someone just in the home? We're going to settle that once and for all in this energy. But thank y'all so much for being here. Let's get into it. Spirits, guides, and angels. Oh, and that was December 25th, 1996, by the way, that JonBenet died. First one that came out is fire. Like chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Whew. See in the house too, the fireplace is on. Spirits, guides, angels, please give us guidance on this. JonBenet, you're welcome to come through. Tell us the truth. So we have party. And we know it was at a party that there was a party that evening at her own house. Fraud. I know. A lot of folks aren't comfortable with this idea, but I think there was something to do with money and access to that little girl in a way. And even in the pageant world, I think somebody at that party was involved in some kind of financial, fraudulent, some kind of abuse of that girl. Tunnel. Interesting, because the access to the house, I think they mentioned like a basement window. Tunnel inside. And hidden. So it's definitely an inside job. I never really bought the intruder thing, but we also have drugs and poison. So somebody... And I'm reading the cards as they come out, y'all. So I know I'm not just talking about what's on the record today. We're talking about the cards as they come out. But frauds, drugs, and poison. I think they had some kind of scam where she would be drugged and people would be allowed to do things to her. And that enabled them, I don't think this is a literal tunnel, although it could be, but some kind of secret entrance into the house. Like they didn't want people to be seen coming and going from the house when they were doing something shady. So if someone was gonna come in to the house for the purposes of abusing her and possibly also Burke, they had to come in through a different entrance, but they were allowed direct access. It's not the broken window. It's not someone outside. They were allowed direct access. Run away. I think there's a possibility she was trying to run away. Yeah, there was some time she didn't abuse, and something about her, she doesn't want to do pageants anymore. She even threatened to run away, and that pissed somebody off. Or for some reason this time, because they always mention the pineapple, but I think that because she likes pineapple, the drugs, they use that fruit and her liking of this fruit to get her to ingest this drug. So the food's drugged, but this time she only ate a small portion of it. And so she didn't ingest the same amount of drugs she normally did, and either threatened to or physically ran away. And that suggested some kind of, I don't know, she resisted. I think this day was when she resisted for the first time what they were trying to do. So she's trying to run away. And water. Something about them making her take baths with somebody or just inappropriate. But I just hear that it's access, direct access. To her from these people, but the drugs didn't work this time and she's trying to run away. Can we have one more card, spirits, guides, and angels, please? Crystal clear, concise message, please, for our seven heaven. Watchers. This energy's heavy, y'all. It's weird. I can feel the different energies on different cases are just different. Neighborhood. Someone in her neighborhood. Someone in her neighborhood knew exactly where to go. And that's what's funny about this too. I'd even bet there's a picture of them at that party, sitting right by the fire that night on Christmas. But the drugs didn't work. And so when she tried to run away, either they did something to her, this person who was abusing her, or her own family did, because she's threatening some kind of business for them. But everything was hidden. Everything was kept a secret. And the neighborhood knew, though. That's the thing. Because the whole neighborhood was kind of privy to this. The cops aren't going to rat because those people are on that list. So they don't want this DNA to come out because even up through law enforcement, some of these, probably men, but I guess we can't really say who, some of these men had been to these neighborhood parties, up to and even including the parties being a guise for something corrupt. Like they would bring parties, bring the children, and just do something inappropriate. Can we have one more card, please, Spirit? I'm gonna move into tarot. Mind control. And I don't think this is in the traditional sense, but you know, how easy is it to control the mind of a child? And I think that there's really just, because you know, y'all, it happens more common than we think, but they were using drugs to kind of control and sedate her through this process and through these possible parties. And so whenever the drugs didn't work because she only fake ate the pineapple or she only ate one piece, she tried to run away from somebody, from her neighbor, someone trying to harm her. And that was enough for either a person in that circle to do it or her parents to do it, because now they're being threatened. Oh, you didn't deliver the goods that you promised. You didn't deliver a good, sedated little girl like you promised. So now they're being threatened. But it was all under the surface too. And if it happened and her mother let it happen, her father, I think it's because they were raised under the same kind of environment where everything's just kind of hush hush. And you know, I'm being reminded of Flowers in the Attic, where it's like those kids were kept up in that attic. It's the same thing where you have control over your own house. So I don't think that they did. And there may have even been a traveling element to it, where they would host parties for different people with out-of-town kids and just be making that money. Just kind of cashing in on like, hey, I have $10 million. Can I be with your kid for an hour type of thing. Very sick, very dark, heavy energy. Maybe we can do a part 2 on this too, maybe with some channeling or pull more cards, but can we get one card, please, from Spirit to let us know, please, to solve that mystery and make it clear for us? Reversal of the Hanged Man. So I think it's like, if it's the Hangman, it's the opposite of what you think, but this is exactly who you think. It's someone who got their hand caught in the cookie jar. And you know, whenever we think of running away, when we think of running away, we have someone who can get told. You see this man's foot. And not in every hangman is there a crowd, but this one has a crowd oogling at him. So it's not just that she was threatening, I'm going to run away, but she's going to say, I'm going to tell. I'm going to tell on what happened to me, because she's very smart. I hear that she is very, very intelligent. So there's threats of her telling, and not only ruining then the whole operation, but, you know, just like ruining lives, reputations. You know, someone's gonna get caught. The tiger's gonna get caught by its toe there. So someone couldn't risk her telling. Do we have one more? And is this, if it was done by her family member, it was because they couldn't risk her telling. So either way, it's connected to this. I don't think that someone, and if they hurt her, it wasn't deliberate. It was just they were being allowed to abuse her and it went too far. But if someone in her family did it, it was because she was going to shut down this whole operation. Do we have one more card, please, spirits, guides, and angels? We have 2 more. Huh, wow. Card with a children's birthday party on it. Wow. And of course, what do you see here? Only in this deck, you have 3 men trying to barge the door in on this party that has to do with children. So I really think it's just their risk. The party was going to be over, either because she was old enough that she started to know what was happening to her was wrong and she was going to tell, or she threatened to just not do it anymore or not take the drugs. And so someone was going to bust the door in on them. But that's what's funny too, is that, yeah, the dead were going to bust the door in. So the victims were going to squeal. And then 10 of Wands in reverse, which is just carrying all these bones. So the weight became too much for her young self to carry. And 7 of Wands, of course, someone in immediate defense. Someone was going to have to defend themselves from something they couldn't. And I think that's what the biggest thing is for me. I know there's a lot of people who just don't think that this is possible, but when I say an organization, I don't mean Epstein level. It's just like a couple of perverts, a couple of $1 million, and some parents who probably had some crazy stuff happen to them. So they're letting whatever happened to their kid. And now when she's getting old enough to realize it and resist, then she's a problem. Spirits, guides, angels. Can you tell me what happens next with JonBenet? Will we find anything out? Will anything surface? Will we find anything out at the legal level or on the news? What's next, Spirit? Nothing is yet set in stone. I don't think that I don't know. I'm not going to say that something will never come of this, because never say never. But, I mean, it may come out. It's not going to be buried forever. But whoever has decided to come forward is not fully decided yet, because they're still afraid of those consequences. But somebody knows. And so if nothing's set in stone, that very well means that somebody could come forward, maybe not through the testing of the DNA, maybe through some sort of anonymous tip through the news, but we might see something there. Let me know if y'all want me to do a part 2 on this. I appreciate y'all being in the energy with me, being on cloud 7. And please comment, like, share, subscribe. I'm Caress at 7 Heaven. And I'm going to see y'all in the next reading. Bye.